Hello again. In this video, we're going to learn how to create hyperlinks within two or more files. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create several different files and we're going to name them specifically. Okay, so in the first file, we're going to just go ahead and save it, right? And we're going to save it as let's save it here on our desktop. We're going to call it number one underscore items of clothing. Okay, we're going to go do this exercise. Items of clothing. Okay, file number one. Okay, we're going to create several files. Now, in this one, we're going to first put the months of the year. This is going to be our main file. Okay, we're going to put for the first trimester of the year, well, quadrimester rather, first quarter of the year. Okay, so January, February, March, and April. We're just going to do 4 months. Okay, and we're going to take three different items of clothing. So the first one we're going to call it shirts. Okay, we're going to talk about shirts. Then we're going to talk about pants, and we're going to talk about sweaters. Okay, so we have these three items of clothing. But these items of clothing can be in a separate file. So we're going to grab a separate file and we're going to create this information. Okay, so we have shirts, pants, sweaters, and the months of January, February, March, and April. Okay, just 4 months. So we're going to create a second file. Okay, the second file we're going to create, we're just going to go ahead and save it from the origin. We're going to go save as. And we're going to call it just like our first item was called shirts. Okay, so we create this file called shirts. Okay, and for the file called shirts, we're going to also create the months, the same months, the first quarter, January, February, March, and April. Okay, and we're going to put here shirts. And let's say that in January we received a total of 55 shirts. In February we received 67. In March we received 34. And in April we received 75. Okay, and that's how many shirts we got. So we make sure to save it. Okay, save it. It's been saved now. Okay, we're going to create a second file. Oh, let's rename this, the tab, shirts. Just to have some additional control. Okay, so we're going to create another one. Our second item, I believe, was pants. So we're going to go ahead and save this file as pants. But now we're going to call it number 3 underscore pants. Okay, we're going to put the same thing, months, January, February, March, and April. And in this one, we're going to call it pants. How many pants did we receive in January? Let's say we received 110. In February, we only received 45. In March, we received 88. And in April, we received 27. Okay, and we're going to call this, again, pants. Okay, so we called it pants. Now, if I remember correctly from our original items of clothing, our third one was sweaters. So we're going to create a fourth file called sweaters. Okay, in this one we're going to save it again, and we're going to call it, of course, number 4 underscore sweaters. Sweaters. Sorry for the mistake, for the little typo. We're going to create sweaters. Okay, and let's say again the first 4 months of the year: January, February, March, and April. For this one, we're going to call it sweaters. For some reason, this word is difficult to spell. Sweaters. There we go. And the amount of sweaters, of course, again, varies. Let's say 63, 38, 92, and 101. Let's call it that. Okay. We save it. We make sure that it's been saved. Okay, and we make sure for the other ones as well, it hasn't been saved. Now it's been saved. Okay, we go to the second one. Is it saved? Okay, we're going to save it. And then we go to the items of clothing, which is the main file that we want to use. So the same thing, let's call this items of clothing. Okay. Now let's create the hyperlink on this one. So we push equal. Same ordeal. We push equal, and we will go to the file of shirts. Okay, and we will go to shirts in January, and we're going to click on it. Okay, we click on it like this, and then we hit enter, and there's going to be a connection. And as you can see here, it tells us the name of the file, it tells us the name of the tab or of the worksheet, and then it tells us the location. Okay, now if we drag it, it should copy it, but it's going to copy only the 55 because, as you can see, the numbers here are fixed. It has the dollar sign or the money sign, as they call it. So what we can do is that we can eliminate just that one right there. Okay, and then we are going to be able to copy the values, and it copies the values accordingly: 55, 67, 34, and 75. Let's verify. Let's go to the shirts file, and we see 55, 67, 34, and 75, which means that it is correct. So let's do the same for this one. Let's go to the pants file. Okay, we push equal. We go over to the pants file, okay, and then we hit on the first one, which is 110. We hit enter again, and it links just like we expected it to. So again, we're going to eliminate the number sign. Okay, so we're going to be able to copy it. And of course, we're able to copy it, and it has 110, 45, 88, and 27. Let's verify on the pants file. So that's correct, 110, 45, 88, and 27. And finally, we're going to do it with the last one, which is sweaters. Okay, so we click on the equal again. We go to the sweaters file. We click on the first one, okay, which is 63. We hit enter, and it creates the connection. Okay, and now let's eliminate the fixed value right there, the dollar sign. We hit enter, and now we're going to be able to copy it like this, and it gives us the proper values: 63, 38, 92, and 101. So let's verify on the sweaters file, and it is correct: 63, 38, 92, and 101. And that's how you create hyperlinks. Now, one thing that's important to mention that does happen is that in many cases the numbers are not immediately updated. So we have to verify that the numbers have been updated. So let's save all of this. Okay, saved. It's been saved now. Let's go to file number 2. It's been saved. File number 3, again, has been saved. And finally, file number 4, sweaters, has also been saved. So let's modify one of these values. Let's modify on shirts. Let's modify from 55 to, let's say, let's go to 85. Why not? Let's go to 85. Okay, let's save it. Let's go back to the origin and see if it changed. Now, as you can see, it changed right here. It updated it. If that doesn't happen, we can just close the file and bring it back up, and it will be automatically updated. So let's do that. Let's close it and see what happens. Okay, so now we've closed. We're going to save everything. Okay, save. Now it's been saved. So now let's open it. It's right here. Okay, but we're not going to open the other files. Okay, and it's going to ask us a question. It's going to very likely ask us if we want to update it. And of course, we're going to say yes, update the file, because it needs to open the other files. And all of this information has been updated, or it's up to date. Now it's giving me the root on where it is, but that's okay. As long as it's correct, that is okay. And it's going to be the same thing for each of the other ones. And I hope this was simple enough. This is a very simple way of creating hyperlinks between 2 or more files. You could do many of them. I'm not sure if there's a limit to how many you can do, but for the time being, we can do a few. For what we're going to do in class is more than enough. But that's how you do it. If you have any questions, drop me an email. Thank you very much.